It's Friday. We're gonna talk about what's sold. Yeah, it's Friday. I hope you sold something too. Yes, I really, really do. It's Friday. Hey, it's me again on a Friday. So we are going to talk about some things that sold from my eBay store this week. And I had a really good week. But surprisingly, I did not sell a set of flatware. So what do you know? Sometimes it doesn't happen. But gosh, if you're new here, just to fill you in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what the item is, what it's sold for, how much the net profit is after we back out the fees and the cost of goods, and then how much time it took to sell it. So I'm a little late today. I had a full day, but I'm here for you on Fridays. Here we go. The first thing is this very, very cool. This is a antique item. This is a PLB&G. It's the Pittsburgh Lighting Company. It's a lamp base. It was heavy metal. I picked this up for just $1.34 and I sold it for $80, giving me $66.44 in my pocket, and it took 5 months for that to sell. All right. Already off to a good start here. The next one, it's hard to tell in the photo, I know, but this is over 200 strands of small, probably, yeah, about that big, little crystals from a chandelier that I took apart and painstakingly laid out on a towel after I washed them. Oof. But I got these for $2. I got the whole chandelier for $2, but the rest of it was unsellable. So I thought I'm going to sell the crystals from it. So I got it for $2. It sold for $50, and that gave me $39.93, and that took just 2 weeks to sell. So I feel definitely, that was worth it on the $2 investment for that one. All right, now some knickers. These are a little short corduroy pants, vintage by a brand called Ski Teak, which is out of Japan. Gave those a shot for $3.05. They sold for $36, and that gave me $27.37, and those took 3 months to sell. And at that same sale, I also got a Ski Teak, like a parka, a ski jacket. Yes, I did. So hopefully that one will go too. Okay, now some yarn. This is the Reynolds Light Lopey black wool yarn. I got these 6, they're not skeins, they're balls, they're actual balls of yarn. Yeah. I got them for $6. They sold for $34, and that gave me $22.68, and those just took 2 months to sell. So my experiment with yarn this year, I think, is going well. I will definitely keep my eye out for good yarn in the future. You should too. Okay, now this little guy, this isn't, it's a vintage adding machine called an Arithma Addiator, actually. I had a neat little sleeve that it went into and a stylus. Cool little thing. I paid $2.16 for it. It is now flying internationally. Sold it for $17, and that gave me $11.73, and it took 6 months for that to sell. So not a great one, but it was cool to check it out and see what that was all about. Okay, another piece of clothing. This is it's brand new. Ralph Lauren brown corduroy vest. My brain was just thinking, hey, the same guy that bought the brown corduroy short pants should have bought this vest too, but he didn't. Somebody else did. So this one I got for $4.19. It sold for $41, and that gave me $30.76, and that one took 13 months to go. Okay, on to more things here. Let's see. Like I said, it's been a long day. I'm a little tired. Okay, so this thing here, you see, is a shoehorn, but it had a long handle that was a bamboo. So I figured, I got to get that. And I picked it up for $4.28. It sold for $25, and that gave me $15.65, and it took 3 months to sell. All right, this was a good one. I'm also trying to learn more about art, selling art pieces. This was a watercolor by John Mendoza, signed, numbered, beautiful. Had some edge problems, but I disclosed that in the listing, and it was nice because it wasn't framed, so I could just roll it up and put it in a tube. So I picked this up for $5.30, which was great, and it sold for $190, giving me $160.47, and it took 3 months for that to sell. That was a good one. Okay, now here it is, folks. Hero find. Yay! Pew, pew, pew. The final bag of nuts is gone. I had one single. Everything else I sold as pairs. And this one Since it was just one, it did cost me $4.25. It sold for $30, and that gave me $20.74 in my pocket and took 5 months to sell. And I think next May, I am definitely going to see if we can buy another pallet of nuts on sale, because it turned out to be a really good deal. I mean, it was almost $400 in profit for all of them. And yeah, full credit to Jonathan, my hero. Thank you. All right, now, this is another hero find. Yes, this is this little box of vintage vacation slides from San Francisco. They were late 70s, early 80s, somewhere right in that pocket of time. And there wasn't even very many of them. There's 33 slides in the box, but we got them for $1.25. They sold for $20, and that gave us $15.25, and it took 6 months for those to go. So I bet if you have a larger lot, I don't know, maybe there's like really good money to be had in slides. I'm not giving up on them yet. Okay, another Jayhawker. This is a yearbook from the University of Kansas, 1957. And this book included Mr. Wilt Chamberlain. I bought the 4 years. Actually, I bought 4 books, but only 3 of them did include Wilt Chamberlain. So this is one of them that had him in it. So I paid $3.25 for it. Sold for $50, and that gave me $38.94, and it took 5 months for that to sell. So I have 2 left now. You saw I think it was just last week that we sold another one of those. So, all right. Now this is a little set of antique Victorian style window sash handle lifts and a lock. I bought the set for $4. It sold for $50, giving me $37.60, and it just took 1 month for those to go. Anytime I see brass hardware, I'm going to check it out. I'm probably going to buy it if it's cheap. People need this stuff to restore old homes all the time. So it's doing okay for me. I would encourage you to try it too. All right, now here's a Victorian blouse. This was so pretty and just tiny. A tiny little person wore that, yes. But I got this as part of that Victorian clothing lot that I got recently, and I paid $5 for it. Sold for $50, and that gave me $37.60. Sorry, I'm getting a transmission from my hero. The blouse took 1 month to sell. He's sending me a text. Let's see if he has something really important to say. No, he's just saying he loves me. So that's nice. Love you too. Moving on, another pair of Hestra gloves. These are their Ergo Grip work gloves, and I paid a lot for the work gloves. Actually ended up buying 3 pair, 1 for my hero, 2 to sell, which paid for his pair, which is great. I paid $53 for these gloves. They sold for $115, and that gave me $46.15, and they just took 2 months to sell. So I'm out of that style, but you're going to see later in the video, I sold a couple other Hestra gloves that I paid a lot less for. These are doing good for me. I'm excited about it. Okay, but first, this is a Roper. That's the brand, Roper. It was a crushed velvet floral dress. Got it for $1, sold for $25, and that gave me $19.65, and it took 4 months for that one to go. All right, not quite flatware, but at least a set of 6 knives. These were by Gerber Mimming, and I paid $6.50 for them. They sold for $30, and that gave me $18.72, and it took 6 months to sell. All right, we're doing quite a few pieces of clothes this week here. Let's see, it's a vintage Linda Allard, Ellen Tracy collab, and it was a full silk suit. Really nice. I got it for just $4.69, and it sold for $80, giving me $63.80, and it took 6 months for that to sell. All right, this little bag of powder. It's called alum, and artists use it to prepare a canvas. I'm sure people use it for other things too, but that's what I know it for. But I paid $4.50 for it, and it sold for $20, and that gave me $16. That's not right. $12.50, and it took a whole year to sell. So that is not something I will probably invest in again. All right, now here is a cute little vase that was in the free pile at a yard sale, so I gave it a shot. It's by Burton & Burton, and I think it's just about this big. So I got it for free, sold for $17, and that gave me $13.89, and it only took a month to sell, which surprised me. I didn't have high hopes for it, but it sold quickly, so that's good. 2 pewter vases, Italian pewter vases at that. These, let's see, I paid $5 for those, and it sold for $25, giving me $15.64, and it took 18 months for those to sell. Okay, glass fruit. Glass fruit. I paid, it was for 2 pieces, I paid $2.84 and it sold for $20, giving me $12.99, and that took 6 months to go. One of them had a flaw that I didn't realize when I bought them, so lesson learned. Gotta really check the glass fruit for flaws. Okay, here's the Hestra gloves. These are elk leather, and then they're lined with a knit. I want to say it was 100% wool inside. I don't know if it was cashmere on this pair in particular, but I paid $13 for all of they call these their fashion gloves. They were green, and they sold for my full asking price of $120, and that gave me $90.49 in profit, and it only took 2 months for those to go. I'm loving the Hestra glove idea. Now, when I gave my estimate that I had it somewhere around like $1,800 in profit in gloves, that was estimating that they would all sell in like this, and I'd have $60 or so in profit on each one. So if I keep getting more that are selling at full price and giving me this kind of profit, that's going to be really good. So I'm excited about the Hestras. You're going to see another one after a couple more here. Okay, next up is, let's see. Oh, this is an Abercrombie belt that I shouldn't have purchased at the thrift store. I paid $5, sold for $22, and that gave me $13.24, and took a whole year to sell. So there's a good lesson on that one. This is a Yo Colorado, that's the brand, and they do make them here. This is like the vest that they're known for. I forget the name of it, but this is it. Let's see, I could paid $7.50 for it. It sold for it sold for $62, and my profit was $45.84, and that one took 11 months to go. I had purchased 2. It was a jacket and a vest for $14 from them, and yeah, they both sold. So I would definitely pick up that brand again if I see it. Okay, this is a weird little thing. It's just a skinny little pouch with 2 pockets, and it was on the back. It said it was made out of goat saddle leather. So yeah, the goat saddle. Not sure if the rest of the goat sells as well. I don't know, but I got this goat saddle leather pouch for 83 cents, and it sold for 23, giving me $19.10, and it took 15 months for that one to sell. I don't know. I thought, well, that's weird. I'm going to buy it. And it worked out okay. All right, so here's another pair of the Hestra gloves, and these were black. Again, same kind of thing. They were either elk, or some of them were some other kind of wild game leather. Something good. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm losing it. Get it together, Amy. These I did take an offer on, and they sold for $98, which my profit was still $71.36, which was over my projected, and that took 2 months to sell. So Hestra, keep going. And if you see these out there, because it's interesting how I've mentioned them to people, and they're like, "What are you talking about? I don't know what Hestra is." So keep that name in mind. They make really, really nice gloves, and I will definitely hit their sample sale again next year. I won't be nervous about it, and I won't be nervous to buy a bunch. So, all right, moving on. I had a set of 3 of these really neat napkins, very mid-century. They're from the Kahlua Room, from a hotel, from the Allied Hotels. I paid 50 cents for my pack of 3, and they sold for $30, and that gave me $24.69, and it took 1 hour for those to sell. I was shocked. I'd already left my office. I'm having a snack, and you get the little ching. Oh, there's the napkins. Okay. And then, some supplements. These are the Vision Hero supplement. These I got for $4. And remember, when you're selling a supplement, it cannot be expired, and it has to be totally sealed, never opened. Very important. That's a no-no if they're opened or if they're expired on eBay. So got these for $4. They sold for $25, and that gave me $17.11, and it took 4 months for those to sell. All right, I got these 2 little pigs from my mom. Thanks, Mom. They're salt and pepper shakers. I feel like she's had them forever. I don't know, but she's done with the pigs. So I got them for free. They did sell for $25, and that gave me $21.75, and it took 8 months for those little piggies to go. Okay, now this one is my favorite thing that we sold this week. They look rather unassuming. These are, they're brass bows. And then see at the bottom, there's a tiny hook. So you hang this bow on your wall, and then you hang your picture on the hook. So the bow is above your art. Very popular in the 80s. Yes, so I picked them up for $1. And then when I was doing my research, I saw that some of them were selling really low and then some of them were selling really high. And I compared, and these sure enough were the same ones, but so were the lower ones. So I don't know if people were just making a mistake, but I thought, why can't mine be one of the higher priced ones? And yeah, sold for full price at $120. And that gave me $101.83. And it only took a week for those to sell. So, I mean, I never would have thought that. I just kind of picked them up on instinct because they were $1. And yeah, these were really good. They did have that little square made in India sticker on the back, and that was it. No maker's mark. But if you see these, this is a sleeper. This is one that you really wouldn't think of. And I'm excited about these bows. Yes. All right, now for my last one before we say goodbye. All right, now this, there's 4 things. So I actually woke up to, I used a whole bunch of stuff to the same person. And so the total was $105 on these. We'll just start at the top. Those are some Pigeon Forge coasters, a set of 4. And I got those for 83 cents. They sold for 27, and that gave me $22.90 in profit. And then the next one is that little orange psychedelic box. I got it at a church sale for just $1. Sold for 25, and that gave me $21.16. That one took a whole year to sell, but that's good money for $1. And then let's see, the next one is my favorite dish set I ever purchased, the Lottie, little Turi design, Lottie. It was a little serving platter about this big. I got it for $1.81, and that sold for 29, giving me $22.83, and it took 10 months for that one to sell. Now, the last one, it's kind of hard to see down there, but these are 2 Atlantic mold. You know, you could buy the kit, and then they were like little platters that you hang on the wall, but they had 3-dimensional relief on them of a floral pattern, and this person had painted them gold. So I sold the set together. I got them for $4. They sold for 25, and that gave me $17.16, and it took 8 months for those to go. So what's interesting is that, remember last time we talked about a combined order. On the last one I had, it was a problem because eBay just went ahead and combined them, and then I couldn't take the one out that the person requested to cancel. But then this time I had 4 items and it didn't combine them at all. I had to do it. So maybe they're just still tweaking the situation on that. Or maybe they listened when I said I didn't like how that was before. Yeah, I don't think that happened. But it did work out better this time. It was easier to navigate. So I don't know. Let me know if you've had a different experience with combined orders recently. I'd love to know about it. Also, please tell me in the comments what's the best thing that you sold this week, or maybe what's the favorite thing that you saw in the video that I sold. Let me know. That's it for now. And gosh, it's Friday night, so get out there this weekend and go find some good stuff. Get it listed. Get it sold.